Keith Turner was born and raised in Champaign County, Illinois. He's a farmer, just as his father and his father's father were before him. Keith is 39. 20 years ago, he married Thelma Primer, who also grew up on a farm. Keith Turner, like many of his neighbors, is a tenant farmer. He rents 320 acres, and he works it, and he pays the landowner a share of the profits from the corn, the soybeans, the oats, and hay he grows and sells. As a sideline, and a rather profitable one, he also raises beef cattle, about 50 head of Aberdeen Angus. His two daughters help him with this. And last month, as a matter of fact, the steer that daughter Nancy raised as a pet was auctioned off to the Howard Johnson chain at the Chicago Livestock Exposition for $16,125. For the last 19 years, the Turner family has lived in this 6-room farmhouse outside of Champaign, Illinois. It's about 2.5 hours from Chicago by car, that is when the highways are clear of snow. The Turners get their mail by way of rural free delivery, their news and weather from WDWS, the local radio station, and most of their home entertainment from the one clear channel they can get on television. Good evening, Mrs. Turner.
Hello, Mr. Merle.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
Good evening, Mr. Merle.
Tell me, are we keeping you up rather later than usual tonight?
No, I don't think so. I guess there's an old saying that a farmer goes to bed with the chickens, but we don't do that. We still get tired, but we just sit in front of a television and go to sleep in the chair now. But I had an idea that we was going to have company tonight.
Well, every day must be a rather long one on a farm, isn't it?
They're long, but maybe next summer it'd be a better time to ask me that question. When a farmer works from sun to sun, and we're really glad for bedtime to come, but really days just aren't long enough. There are lots of things that I like to do. I lead a 4-H club and interested in PTA and all of the community activities, and besides that, I do housework. I enjoy it. I like to sew, and I just haven't days that are long enough.
Well, Mrs. Turner, when you do get some spare time, how much television do you watch?
Well, you're talking to the radio fan in the Turner family. The rest of my family likes television much better than I do. I can listen to the radio, it seems, and keep touch with everything, and yet I can do what I'm wanting to do, too.
Mm-hmm. Keith Turner, who owns the land you farm?
Well, Mrs. Edith Kaufman owns this farm from Maryland.
Uh-huh.
It's been in their family for several years. And some of the neighbors around, farms are owned by businessmen, professional men, and they bought them for investment, and they rent them to farmers like me.
Uh-huh. Well, with no crops to tend during these winter months, what do you do to keep busy?
Well, the people that have livestock can spend 2 or 3 hours a day or more with them, feeding them and grinding feed, and cleaning the barn out and bedding them down. Then there's always machinery to take care of and get ready for spring. And I go to several Angus sales, as many as I can get away to.
Uh-huh. Mrs. Turner, do the girls ever object to some of the rigors of farm life?
Well, I can remember when Nancy was little that she thought that it might be fun to live someplace else, but since that she's changed her mind. Right now, here in central Illinois, I don't think it's much different living on the farm for the girls than if they lived in town. Maybe the girls could tell you that for themselves.
Good.
This is my daughter, Jane.
Evening, Jane.
Nancy. Hi.
Hello, Nancy. Nancy, tell me something. Wasn't it a little bit unusual to have had a steer for a pet?
No, it wasn't. I've been raising calves for 4-H projects since I was 10 years old.
Well, what are some of your other 4-H activities?
I belong to a foods club and clothing club, and I have a room improvement project where I've redecorated my bedroom.
Uh-huh. Jane, how about you?
Well, I'm only 13 and I haven't had as much time to do as many things as Nancy has, but I've been in 4-H work for 3 years, and I've been in clothing and foods clubs. I've had a youth project every year, too.
And you enjoy all of it, do you?
Yes, I do.
Nancy, how far are the barns from the house? Do you think we could go out and take a look, perhaps?
Well, it's just about 100 yards, and we'll go get our coats and take you out there.
Good. Mrs. Turner, is that popcorn there on the table in front of us?
Sure is.
And do you put hot butter and salt on it?
Usually do.
Well, you seem to have all the modern conveniences in that kitchen of yours.
Well, I'm quite proud of it. There aren't too many other things that I need.
How many of those modern conveniences did you have when you moved into this house? That was about 19 years ago, wasn't it?
19 years ago, we didn't have one. We didn't have electricity. Our neighbors didn't have electricity. There wasn't a power line that even went past the house. In 1938, we got electricity, and that changed things considerably for everyone, not just us. And since that, each year we've got new appliances as we could buy them. And then in 46, we did quite a bit of remodeling, and it's helped a lot.
You girls ready to go out to the barn?
Yes, we are. Just follow us.
Right.
I'll see you.
What's the weather like tonight out there?
Well, it just started snowing a little while ago, and it's about 25 degrees.
Uh-huh. A little wind, too, isn't there?
Just a little.
Mm-hmm. What's the building there, just that we're passing?
That's our garage.
What kind of car do you have?
We have a 1952 Studebaker.
Tell me, do you girls think you'll settle down on a farm when you get married?
Well, we'd like to, I think.
Is that our television tower we're passing?
No, this is our old windmill, and there you can see your tower out there.
Oh, yes, there it is. Could we go on out to the barn, perhaps?
Yes, we're just about there.
Uh-huh. Oh, and there, I'll bet, is Julius, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What makes him a prize winner?
Well, his wit and his depth, and he's got the right cuts of meat in the right places, I guess.
Uh-huh. Who's his friend?
This is John. He's like here from next year.
Uh-huh. Nancy,
Yes.
what are you going to do with the money you got from the auction?
Well, it'll be used for James and my college education.
And what's going to become of Julius?
Well, he's Mr. Howard Johnson's right now, and I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Uh-huh. Well, now, before going back to the house, I wonder if one of you would like to tell the city folks who might be looking in what the 4 H's in your club stand for. Would you do that?
Well, we can both say the pledge for you.
Good.
I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, and my country.
Thank you very much indeed, and say good night to Julius and his friend, will you?
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
Good night.
Now, I think we can go back into the house to chat a little with Keith. Keith, there's a lot of talk these days about the farm problem. How are things with you?
Well, they're not too bad with me. We've had several good years, and I can kind of tide over. They were hard at first, but there's definitely a pinch right now. Our expenses are awful high, and our income is going down a lot. But I think maybe it'll work out sometime.
What do you think could be done or should be done to help the farmer?
Well, they're talking on the soil bank now, which I believe is going to work over a period of years, but something has to be done the next year or two. Can't wait forever on it. If I knew all the answers, I guess I wouldn't have to farm, would I?
It's going to be a slow business at best, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Mrs. Turner, how many times have you been to New York City?
Well, we've been to New York City 2 times. Once 17 years ago, just passing through, stayed all night, and then last December when we went as Mr. Howard Johnson's guests after he bought Julius, after Nancy had won at the livestock show in Chicago.
And how do you like New York?
Well, it's a nice place to visit, nice place to sightsee. It didn't look quite so large to me as it did the first time we were there. Usually when our family goes on a vacation, why we go to some natural beauty spot, I guess. And it was quite different from anything we'd done before. After about 2 days, the girls began to say, well, when we get back home and what we'll do, and I think we were all glad to come back.
You must be very proud of those two girls, aren't you?
Oh, we sure are.
Well, I imagine they haven't yet got back from the barn, so would you say good night to them for us?
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Turner and Mr. Turner, for letting us come and visit you on your farm. It's been very enjoyable indeed. Good night. Thank you very much.